Well, hello and welcome people of the internet to some Heroes Warband. We checked out this game a few months ago, back in the summer while it was still in demo, but it has hit a full 1.0 release. It is on Steam, and if you want to check it out, link will of course be down below in the description for you to check out after this video. Also stick around to the end of this video. I do have some thoughts and changes that I think could be applied to this game, but I'll save all those thoughts till the end of the video. For now, let's go ahead and jump in and check out Heroes Warband. So when you actually start, after doing some progression here, you can select your warband still. The UI is a little bit different than it was before. You can also, if you want, you don't have to pick 3 different units. If you wanted to pick all 3 knights, you could totally do that, but we're going to have a little bit of a mixed build here. So we're going to have the Acolyte, who's our healer, Huntsman as our ranger, and a knight as our tankier offensive unit. You can of course use your meta progression points to unlock any other class you want, like Gunslinger or Gravebinder, or if you want like a War Dancer, who's kind of like a more thief physical character, you could totally do that. The other thing that's new in this version compared to the demo version before, so now we don't have just the first area unlocked. You'll of course have to beat the first area in order to unlock the further ones, but for all the different locations, there are also other classes that come with them, so that's pretty cool. So you'll have access to those. So let's go ahead and jump into the game here. We'll play the Grimfang Woods, the Grim Dang Fango Woods. Speed up this 2x. So this is an auto battler. I don't think I mentioned that at the top, but it's completely automatic. So everything the game does, it's going to play itself. The only thing we're in charge of is, for one, these upgrades here. This is part of our commander level, which you can see right back here. So as we kill things, we will be able to upgrade different stats and points for global stat reasons. I think here we're going to take the attack speed. Go ahead and make sure our guys can attack nice and fast. Units are also going to upgrade themselves, or they're going to level up. We're going to be able to choose some skills, choose some stats as well, which is new from the demo off here to the side. So as characters level, you're going to be able to select from 2 different random abilities from a giant pool. Some of them are a little bit more specific to their classes, but most are going to be kind of just general that a lot of classes can learn. You have 3 spots for skills, and if you ever find one that you don't want, well, you always kind of want to choose one of these, but let's say you get to 3 skills and then you find one that's better, you can always dump it, drop it on over here to unlearn it, and then pick up a new one. We have all our stats and then our modified stats over here on the right, and then we also get to get stat points every time we level up, and can level up some of our character stats and hopefully make them better at what they do. So obviously we're going to take the healing. And the question here is, what do we want? Actually, both these are pretty good. We have an AoE stun, and we have, or kind of AoE, it's only 2 enemies, or a greater heal amount. I'm actually going to take the blinding stun. Might be a little weird. You might think you want the greater heal, but CC is actually incredibly important for this game that I found. This is one of those times. So I was going to hold off a little bit until the end, but I'm going to comment because... Oh, well, actually, okay, we can take stealth. We're going to talk about this, like, blink later. So remember this, but we're going to take stealth here. Not that this is great, but it's better than blink. And then we're going to take the attack speed, drop that down even more. And then here for our melee unit, definitely we're going to be taking double slash for the stun chance. Like I said, CC is very important here. And we're just going to increase our attack damage and get her done. As for here, let's go see... Where is our... Let's go ahead and get... Actually, I'm going to get cooldown reduction. This is actually the only way to get cooldown reduction in the game. And what I'm also going to do, I'm going to pop in here the settings, just turn this up a little bit. It's a little quiet. Get a resuming. Nice. And there's the first wave down. We grab our loot. We get our gold. And we also get a little bit of a kind of like a summary here of kind of who are our best units, which is kind of cool. Now we get to the shop, and in the shop we have our gold and party size. We can have up to 7 units in our party, but of course we can expand the army. I would not really suggest doing this early on, or possibly at all, which again we'll kind of talk about later on. We have items and heroes. So once you buy something from here, because you also have a reroll, if you buy something from the shop and you reroll, it's not going to add another item in, so you're better off rerolling when you have a higher number of items than just 1 in the shop or even 2. As for what we're going to take here, gear is very important, almost a little bit more important than promoting, to be completely honest. So we do have actually a weapon for all of our different characters here, though we can only buy 2 of them. So I'm actually going to just buy them for our attack damage. Honestly, that weapon, actually it's a dagger. It's not that important for us. I'm going to take the marksman's crossbow, so let's take that, give it to our archer. We also have this gear... defense, so we'll give that to our knight. This right here, we will also give to our knight. And then we're actually going to promote our Acolyte here. Use that gold. And proceed forward. Proceed forward. We got nothing else we can spend gold on. Let's go ahead and speed the game up. ×2. Get her nice and going, nice and fast. So yeah, as far as combat goes, you know, it is a very, you know, traditional auto battler. It is literally the game plays itself, which, you know, if you're someone who likes to sit back and just worry about the actual building of units, I think is a nice thing. But having come off of, like, my first real auto battler that I played was Gladiator Guild Manager, and in that game, there was a bit more of a, like, priority system where you could go and, before a match began, fine-tune your units and to say, like, okay, the assassin units, I want you to prioritize backline healers. Rangers, prioritize the, you know, weaker melee units. Tanks, I want you focusing on the other tanks, stuff like that. There isn't any of that. So your units here really just literally do whatever they want to do, which sometimes is not what you want them to do, funny enough. Not really funny enough. It's like pretty obvious that sometimes they don't do what you want them to do. Gonna put some armor right here on our healer, make sure that they stay alive. Is this the same thing? It is the same thing. Okay. So I think I'm going to take the War Dancer. The War Dancer is kind of sweet. So it has a lot of dodge chance and can actually learn a taunt. So you can almost have like a little bit of a, like a dodge tank going here. So that's not a bad pickup. We do have an Iron Dagger, which I suppose I could give to him too, just to increase his damage a little bit. I do kind of want to give him some armor though. Let's see, we have a little bit of lifesteal, which I don't think is that important right now. So let's go ahead and re-roll. We do have a weapon here, attack damage. That's not great for our healer. We have some Apprentice Leg Guards, which would give us a little bit more defense. So I'm going to go pick those up, put them on Tev. Wrong slot. And let's do... So I'm not going... Oh, man, I could spend a reroll, though, for... It's only 2 gold. I'm going to spend a reroll. Okay, so we actually have 2 promotions here, which we also have a sword. Not one of the better swords, though. And I'm actually not going to buy the sword. The reason I'm not going to buy the sword is because we're going to be promoting the knight here. And so we're going to want to look for an adept weapon anyway. And then we can promote our huntsman as well. This is actually a pretty solid start. One of the things that... Okay, hang on. Yeah, that is one of the things that gets terrifying real quick is these dash mechanics. Is they just hard focus your healers. And... something about this game that I haven't mentioned yet, we're going to grab the charge, because this also has stun on it, is that there is permadeath. So if your units do die, they are gone for the run. It's it can be a tough pill to swallow, not going to lie. Okay, nice. So what do we want? Oh, and now we can promote our War Dancer. Perfect. So now everybody's adept, which is great. This is working out way better. So in all seriousness, I've recorded this video. I think this is the 3rd or maybe even... I think it's the 3rd time No, it's the 4th time I've recorded this video. No, it's the 3rd time. It's the 3rd time. The first time I recorded it, I had some thoughts, but they weren't really like super concise yet. And then in the... Let's see. Do we need pants? We do need a little bit of pants. Okay, so I'm going to put some pants on you to keep you safe. I know I said I was going to wait for adept stuff. Let's go ahead and re-roll. Okay, now we can buy this bow. Not enough gold. Oh, yeah, we're broke. I'm going to hire another Acolyte, though. I want a second healer. So, because I recorded once, some of my thoughts weren't exactly 100% what I really wanted to talk about. So, I recorded it again, with a more concise thoughts, and my audio messed up. So here I am recording it a 3rd time, and I guess one of the interesting things is that one of the points that I made, I'm kind of not having happen, which again I will save for the end. We have a nice little stun here. We already have a stun here. Honestly, I think stun is better than defense though, so I'm going to grab the blinding light. Oh, that's an upgrade. Oh, dingus head. Dingus. Okay, I definitely should have grabbed the blessing. That's my bad. I just completely missed that. So let's go for... Let's get the healing up still. And here we'll get cooldown reduction, especially since we have a lot of stuns, actually. This is actually pretty good. It's been a long time. Yeah, see, like, this is not great. This is not good. We're just going to Yeah, none of these are good. Okay, we'll take the dodge chance, increase your healing. But going back to the permadeath aspect of the game, there is permadeath, so if your characters die, they're dead. You do get their gear back, but whenever you buy units in the shop, they do start at level 1, so they're not going to come with any skills, which can be really rough, you know, especially later on in the game. So now we can go ahead. Let's see. So we do have the axe. That's a lot of damage and stun chance, so we're going to give that to our knight here. And what about this weapon? Attack, poison. So I don't know if the poison chance, I'm assuming that poison chance is just innate. It doesn't mean that you need to have a poison skill. Now, that being said, we do have poison chance on this, so I am going to still grab this weapon, give it to Tev. Boom. And we have gold to promote. I do have gold to promote. I think I'm actually going to... Yeah, we're going to promote the War Dancer. And I don't have enough for this, but we're going to lock you in and get her back going. Because once you start getting into later rounds, you start fighting a lot more difficult enemies, and what can basically happen is you can have this snowball effect where you lose one unit, and then because they're level 1, they're going to start with lower stats, right? Okay, I'm not going to fall into the same trap. We're going to take the Falcon Slash. Let's go ahead and increase our damage, I think, at this point. Our attack speed is pretty good. Let's get that damage up. Where you start to snowball, where, you know, the first character dies, and then let's say you have five or six characters. Let's say 6 characters. One dies. Okay, now you're down to 5, but you still win. You win the round. Okay, so now you got to go and buy another unit. You buy the unit, but it's level 1. You can gear them up, but they're still going to have less stats than if they were leveled. They also have no skills, right? So they're not presenting as much utility as they would be if they were level 3 or 4, let's say. So we're going to promote the Huntsman. I'm not going to... man. I'm starting to get into one of those situations where it's like, no, because my gold is so low, I don't think I can afford to promote here. Reason being, because I want to lock this in, and I also want to grab these. And so I'm just going to save my gold rather than promote. I'd rather promote down here first rather than putting all my eggs in one basket, right? That's another kind of difficult thing, is if you put all your eggs in one basket and this unit dies, that's a lot of gold that you just kind of lose. So you got to take that into account as well. Yeah, see, like that stun right there is going to be very powerful on this guy because he is just going to focus up on my healers. Yeah, so Rena falls. So luckily that is our weaker healer, but we're literally about to lose our other healer right now. Let's get the attack speed. Let's grab the piercing blue flame, attack speed. Okay, luckily our healer is still alive. That's good. That's good. We did lose the one healer, right? We lost one of our healers, so overall we're doing okay. Doing okay. The question is, what do I want here? Let's just buy this gear. And I think I have to re-roll this. I could promote the knight. Yeah, let's promote the knight. And I think I am going to re-roll this. Okay, so Martyr Priest is a healer, which is actually going to get us a sponsor, which we haven't talked about yet because we don't have any synergy here. But sponsors are basically the synergy in Autobattlers. If you played Autobattlers before, you're familiar with synergies. If you're not, basically when you have multiple of, typically when you in Autobattlers you would have tags. In this case, it's for specific units. So if you have specific sets of units, you'll get bonuses. So for right here, because we have both an Acolyte and a Martyr, we're going to get a heal amplification of 10%. Just for these guys. Another one we could have gotten is with our Huntsman here. If we pick up a Windstrider, which is kind of like the elven version of an archer, you'll get some range damage bonuses there. So we got a bunch of gear here. Let's go ahead and slot some of this in. Max HP, attack speed, attack range. Yeah, that's probably pretty good. And we also need some chest on you. Nice. Let's go over to our knight here. We can put on some new pants. We can put on... Where was that new... Did I already put the new... I already put the new shirt on you. I thought I had a legendary one. I guess not. Lifesteal is not really what I'm looking for. Okay, so I don't have a lot of gear to put on you. We can put this gear over here. And here, we got this nice weapon here. Attack damage 17. It has some lifesteal on it. We do lose the stun, but I think that's fine. And then, what do we have here? This longbow. Attack damage goes up. We do have a slow chance as well, but either way, yeah, we do need some defensive stuff here. A little bit. So we can start, I think we can start, can we start selling this? I can sell one of these for sure. We can sell the dagger. And then we're not going to reroll because I'm only going to get 2 options as opposed to 3. Or as opposed to 6, I suppose. Could argue that I should just hire the knight, though. Yeah, let's hire the knight. Let's get another melee unit here. We get some more stun here. Start leveling him up. Hopefully we can get him a stun dash. Okay, so here I am going to take the heals an ally for a greater amount, I think, over the defense. Just so that way, because I think the way that the Acolyte works is that they can either, I think they can either attack enemies or, no, I guess they attack healing. So it's literally just, they're just attacking healing. So attack speed is probably pretty beneficial as well. But then they also have a heal on cooldown, which is pretty good. Okay, so yeah, you know, another situation where these are both incredibly bad on this character. So let's get the attack speed up so that way you can just heal more often. And here on the knight, we'll take the electric slash, stun chance, love that. Attack speed. Oh, yikes, we're taking some damage, unfortunately. Oh, man, our martyr might go down. Our martyr might go down. That's not good. That's not good. Let's get the electric slash here for a little bit of stun. Let's also go for attack speed. Okay, nope, we're good. We're good. He recovered. Nice. Okay, sweet. What do we have here? We have a wand. Attack damage crit chance. So I'm not sure. So some weapons or some wands do have specifically a healing stat. So I'm not sure really how this, I guess we'll double check how that works with our healers. Do I want to go about healing, promoting these guys? I suppose I do. But I really would like to reroll because I do want to get some extra gear for these guys. I think that's going to be pretty important. Crit chance and stun chance. Ooh, that's pretty good. I'm actually going to buy that. I'm going to put that over here. And then let's reroll this. I'm looking for... Really, I'm looking for... Yeah, I can't even do that yet. Let's reroll one more time. Okay, so we can promote the knight here. Crit chance, dodge chance, lifesteal. That's actually really good. Okay, we're going to lock this in. Try and pick it up. So there's that Wind Strider that I was talking about. Honestly, I'm going to buy you just in case you survive. Because we get the crit chance bonus on both of those. We also get the slow chance there. And we get the range damage. So we get a bunch of bonuses just for buying that for 10 gold. So hopefully they survive and we can keep them around. And have 2 range units. But we are very close to losing our knight here. He came back, though. Gained some health. Let's see. Let's see. So at this point, I think I'm honestly just going to get move speed. Seems weird, but I don't really want to put the move speed on individual units. And I've noticed my knights are kind of slow to get to units. So I feel like having some additional move speed might be beneficial. Although maybe dodge chance is better or even like lifesteal is better. Now let's go with lifesteal. I think everyone can use some lifesteal. Okay, so this is another one of those situations that I want you to kind of keep in mind because we're going to talk about later with priority charge for the Wind Strider. Let's go with temporary increase your health, and we'll go for attack speed. Yeah, these stuns are super, super dangerous. So now we have an AoE heal. Let's go ahead and take... Oh, man, do we want that or do we want... I think I just want the stun. We just want as many stuns as possible. Especially since we can't, like, control, like, who they're focusing their stuns on or anything like that. Increase the attack speed. Alright, so nice. So we do get a promotion here. I would like to, obviously, promote our martyr here. We do have a wand, so we'll go ahead and pick that up because you don't have a weapon yet, right? Yeah. This increases your heal amount as well. And then, right, that is... Okay, so we're going to keep that lock because I'm still broke. I mean, I can't even afford to do anything, so we're just kind of stuck here. There's not a lot we can do. Ooh, we can do that. Heal amount 12. That's a lot. That's a lot. Let's see. Is there anything else we can do? We can swap this out. Is there any reason to do so? Gives us some more attack range, more attack damage, and lifesteal. Yeah, I think I like that more than what's currently on there. We can sell that. I don't think I need that. And then this we can also... Wait. Windstrider. Windstrider. Make sure we got that. All right. Let's get her going. Yeah, these stuns are super powerful. Super powerful, especially if you can just start stacking them. I mean, the enemy just can't even do anything. Nice. So what do we want here? Do we want the additional damage? Allows, let's see. So allows a hero to attack multiple enemies at once, which is pretty powerful. Change projectile to magic and view blue flame arrows for a duration. No, I'm going to take the split shot. Just attacking more enemies. Get them dead quicker. And then let's take the attack speed. I mean, your attack damage is already pretty high. We want you attacking as fast as possible. Okay, we got a bunch of gold there. Super nice. Huh. So we could promote. These are pretty expensive, though. That's something to keep in mind. Mythic weapon would be nice. Adept weapon. I don't think that's what we're looking for, right? It doesn't really have any healing. I think I'm actually going to re-roll this. It's another case where the promotions that I want are not here. Ooh, attack damage and slow chance. That seems pretty good. I think I'm going to buy that. And there's, oh, that ring that I still have locked in. So let's buy that. Let's buy this. Here. Yeah, so here I want to put the attack damage and slow chance, especially since you attack so quickly. This one, the crit chance, dodge chance, I want to put on one of my melee units. And honestly, I should actually probably put it on the lower level one because you also have less gear. So we increase your dodge chance so you don't get hit that often. And then crit and stun. We can't put that on you. We can put that on you. Okay, 15 gold, not a whole lot. I mean, I could promote my War Dancer. But again, I think I just want to okay, we'll do it. We'll do it. That is always scary. When you have one unit just like charge in, it's not great. All right, we'll take the arrow barrage. We'll take the attack speed. And unfortunately, that was our stronger melee unit too. Okay, let's go ahead and upgrade. Cooldown 9 seconds. So it stuns more enemies and stuns for longer, or just a bigger heal. I'm gonna take the stun upgrade. And let's go attack speed. Okay, so here... Oh, man. See, this makes me nervous again, because if I give him charge, we might have the same thing happen where he just kind of dashes in. That being said, he has a lot of dodge chance, so this might actually be the unit to do it. Yeah, let's get rid of this Falcon Slash. That's a really long cooldown. Take charge. And then we'll do some attack speed. Okay, come on guys, let's clear them out. Slow chance, poison chance. Slashes nearby enemies. That's a long cooldown. Let's go for poison. Just get him dead. And we need some attack speed. You're very slow. And you got to be our new boy. You got to pick up the slack here. Let's see. So this being said, let's pick up a new War Dancer. Pick up a new War Dancer. Okay, so we got to suit you up. So let's go ahead and give you the weapon. We'll give you the pants, give you the shirt, give you the ring. And then what else we got? Can we do this character? Let's see. Is this any better? Crit chance? No, this is more of a, oh wait, heal him out. 8 crit chance. Burn chance? No, this one has attack speed. So we're going to hang on to that. So there's not a whole lot I can really do here? The sword, because the sword we don't need, right? Yeah, the sword we don't need. I definitely need I need chest and legs for this guy, that's for sure. So maybe I should take, like, the chest off of this guy. He is level 1, though, so I need to keep him alive. I mean, I don't need to keep him alive as much, because we just bought him. So let's put the defense over here. Try and keep you alive. Wave 10 is tough. I think it's wave 10 that's tougher. Maybe it comes a little bit later. It might be 12 or 13, actually. That's a lot tougher. Let's see. Just kind of looking over everything. Yeah, let's go lifesteal again, just to kind of take some of the burden off our healers. The problem with the lifesteal is I don't like lifesteal 8. I'm not sure what that means. Is that 8% chance to heal something? Does that mean that you heal 8% of the damage dealt? Does that mean that you heal 8 life on every hit? Like, I don't know what this 8 mean. I don't know what it signifies. Everything else, like crit chance makes sense. It's 49.6%. Dodge chance makes sense. It's a percentage. Skill slots, that makes sense. You have 3 skill slots. Max HP, that all makes sense. But lifesteal, I'm not sure what initially, like, what that entails. Maybe I have to go into the like meta progression where you can see all the stats and maybe hover over it. Maybe it tells you there. Crit chance or heaven strike. Definitely giving you a heaven strike because it has a stun chance. And we will go for attack speed again. Okay, so there's the martyr promotion that we've been looking for. Nice. We can promote our war dancer. So now we have two of these guys, who is also a war dancer. It's a little, to me, it's a little weird that it stays a war dancer. It feels like it should be something else. Okay, but I need, let's see. So I'm going to do one reroll here. Oh man, I need like top end gear. I need like literally like a shirt. Tech damage, let's see. So is that good on anyone? There's no one that I can really put it on. Okay, so then I'm going to save the rest of my gold for the next round. Yeah, see, these enemies are tough. The ones that just continually dash, if you're not CCing them, they will go straight after your healers, and they can be very scary. Stealth, I don't... okay, we'll give you stealth. That's fine. We're going to kind of make you a defensive tank here. Let's go for... Movement speed's fine. Damage your attack speed is also fine. Let's give you some lifesteal. Okay, so we can promote our priest. And then, again, I still need to just find armor. We have another promotion here. It's novice armor. I don't need novice armor at this point. Do not need novice armor. And actually, he needs pants. Actually, novice armor can go on our Windstrider here. Okay, let's go ahead and promote you into a king. And we'll reroll once. Okay, yeah, see, that's definitely all I'm rerolling. That being said, Windbreaker for ranger enemies. Is that good on here? Yeah, that's an upgrade. Okay, let's upgrade your weapon. That being said, I need to promote you so that way we can get you the upgraded gear. Oh boy, here's a snowball. Now we're starting to lose. Yeah, this is the round that I've consistently found crazy difficult. The difficulty spike on wave 13, I don't know why it's there, but it's massive. Absolutely massive. In the past, this is always the wave that I lose on. Not surprised to see that. So that is Heroes Warband. As for the actual gameplay, was kind of expecting that to happen, and honestly, out of the, like I said, out of the 3 times that I've recorded this video, this is actually the so far the best performance that I've had. So I want to take this time. I do still want to talk about some of the things that I've noticed in this game that I think need to be potentially addressed, at least in my opinion. Please share your thoughts if you think that I'm way off base on these, or if you agree. I think, again, if the developer was kind enough, I don't think I mentioned in the beginning, but the developer was kind enough to send me a key to actually check out the full release of this game. And so I think that it's possible that they're going to check out this video. So I'm hoping that this section is probably more important to them than the actual gameplay. So that's why I'm going to go over, well, I go over the stuff with all the games, but so the thoughts here that I have, the first of which, actually, we're going to turn down sound effects so that way we don't have to listen to them shooting the whole time. The first thing that I want to talk about is class identity. So if we actually go ahead and take a look in the Warband, how many classes do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We have 13 different classes. And a lot of those share some similarities. So for example, the Boomsmith and the Gunslinger, obviously this one's more like, you can see he has a bomb in his hand. This one is more, Gunslinger is more with a gun. But between, let's say for example, between Huntsman and Windstrider, there's not a whole lot of difference there. If we take a look at the stats, there are a few stat differences, right? Max HP, a little bit higher in the Windstrider. Attack damage, a little bit higher on the Huntsman, as well as some of the bottom stats. So lifesteal goes to Huntsman, crit chance goes to Huntsman, dodge chance goes to Windstrider. But when you take all those stat changes into account, overall, I wouldn't say it's a huge difference in performance, right? And movement speed also goes to Windstrider, and Huntsman gets a little bit of knockback force. But when you look at the skills themselves, you have a couple more, not necessarily class specific, but more actual like combat type mechanics. So for example, with the range units, we saw that there was the ability that you could like shoot at multiple enemies at the same time. That's obviously going to be there for the range unit. So Windstrider can learn that, Huntsman can learn that, Gunslinger, and I'm assuming Boomsmith can all learn that. And then there's a big giant pool of general skills that you can learn, right? There's the HP buff. There's the one that gives you dodge, extra dodge while you move. There's the one that gives, what else is there? You know what I mean. There's a bunch of like those kind of more general ones, right? Oh, the dashes. That's what I wanted to talk about. So the dashes, right? I don't understand why dashes towards the enemy are in the skill pool for archers. That just seems really weird. So again, this is going to kind of lead into that like class identity where the difference between, for example, while it might be kind of between like a war dancer and knight, right? Now, obviously the big difference here is the fact that the war dancer is like more of a thief character. So it's going to have more dodge chance. But when you look at what they do, not necessarily like their stats, but what they do on the battlefield, they really do the exact same thing. I mean, this is a thief, and the thief has Warcry in his skill menu, which is a taunt. It's a little bit weird for me that the thief has a taunt. Now, I know that like taunt tanks or not taunt tanks, but dodge tanks are kind of a thing. I definitely played a dodge tank when I was playing Unicorn Overlord back, I mean, when the game first came out. But it's a little bit weird to me that there's no like specific thief skills. It's just kind of all melee combat skills. And so what I think you could potentially do, and the other thing too, before I lead into what I was going to say, but the other thing too is I'm not the biggest fan of the 2 random skills, because as you saw there were a couple times where the skill selection was really kind of worthless. You know, we would get like extra dodge chance, or we got, I think on a healer one time, we got a dash, and then we got a chance to have extra dodge. And it's just like, this is not what I want my healer to be doing. I understand that it adds a little bit of difficulty, but it's just kind of like, it's difficulty from a headache, right? It's not like difficulty because the game's hard. It's like, oh, the game just didn't give me what I need to succeed, and I just don't have the tools to actually make my unit successful, right? It would be like you're playing an MMO, you level up for the first couple times, and your healer just gets a random like warlock ability, and it's like, well, I mean, it's cool that I have this like, you know, necrotic blast, but it doesn't really do anything to progress my own gameplay. So I feel like after I was thinking about it for a little bit, right, I've had a couple videos now to kind of think on this. I think it would be a little bit more beneficial if each different class had a very small pool to select from. So let's say it was even, at first I suggested 2, but let's even say it's 3. And let's say each class maybe had like different tracks it could go down. So let's take a look at the Knight, for example. Perhaps with the Knight, you could have like a more offensive Knight build. You could have a more tanky Knight build. And then maybe you have a bit more like middle of the road, like offensive, defensive, like a lifesteal Knight, right? So your first ability, maybe that's your first attack. So for a tank, maybe you have the an attack that has a stun attached to it. For the more offensive build, maybe you have an attack that has burn or burn, because the poison you could save for the thief attached to it. And then you have an attack that has lifesteal attached to it, right? And then, so when you level up for the first time, you get to level 2, the game randomly chooses 2 of those 3 to provide to you. So there is still a little bit of randomness, but you also have an expectation of what the Knight is supposed to do. It has class identity. Now, this doesn't mean that you're going to be able to go the tank ability all 3 times and have like the perfect tank build. Obviously, it's possible. There's 33% chance that you're not going to get one of the skills you want, but it still kind of fits in with what the Knight does and what you want the Knight to do. So that way you don't get into situations where you have a huntsman and it has dash and charge. It's like, I literally don't want either of these, but you got to pick one of them. So it's kind of a weird situation. So I think if you had that kind of tree in mind, I think it would keep class identity a little bit closer together, so that way you also have a reason to go with a specific class. So let's say you're battling and, the enemy dropped a really cool poison dagger. Well, maybe it's going to be beneficial for you then to then go ahead and pick up a war dancer, but the way it goes, you might as well just pick up a knight or whatever melee unit comes along that can wield that weapon, because they're going to have the poison abilities in their selection. So stuff like that, I think, would also help out. And because you have permadeath, when a unit dies, let's say you have a really good build, a really good knight build, like you get the charge, you get a war cry, and you get an ability that has a stun. You're like, this is great. Your knight dies and you got to start all over. Well, when you have the random abilities, you might just get a really crap knight. And, because you got to start over, he's starting with less stats. It's more likely that he's going to die. And it just makes the game a lot harder once you get that first death. So if you had a pathway that was a little bit more consistent, you could kind of plan what unit you need to fill out that role that you're now lacking. And there would be a little bit more consistency there and give you a little bit better chance at actually gripping back once you do lose a unit or 2. So that, I think, is I think for me personally, I think it's a much needed change that I would like to see, because as the current system stands, I think it's a little bit lacking. The second big thing that I want to address is the upgrades, because the game, I will admit, the game is quite difficult. You saw it at Wave 13, we just had no chance. We just got absolutely smashed. And that being said, this was easily, of the 3 runs I've recorded, easily the best. Because, actually, let's hold on to this 1 second. I want to go back to the warbands. The other thing that I think could potentially need a change is the way that the shop works. Now, it is possible that this is already implemented, so I want to give a quick caveat here, just in case this is implemented. I think that the shop should be more likely to provide you promotions for units you already have. And the reason I say, like, I want to give a caveat here, and the reason why I was almost a little frustrated that it was going so well in the beginning, was because this was easily the run that was most consistent at giving me promotions for the units I needed, except for at the end when we were struggling to get the Windstrider and the Martyr. In the previous runs, it has been like the only promotions that come are for 1 unit. Everybody else is stuck in that novice mode. And the problem is, if you're stuck in novice mode, you can't use adept weapon or gear. You can't use, mythic weapon or gear. And so you're stuck with that really weak armor, and your units are more likely to die. So I think you could do it a couple of ways. You could either open up the shop a little bit more, but that of course messes up the UI and it's not as clean. But increasing how many units are in the shop, or just having a system where if you have a unit, you're more likely to get it, and maybe dropping the reroll price, because you don't really get a lot of gold unless you have like an elite unit that you face. A lot of the rounds we were doing where there was no elite unit, we were getting like 20 gold, and at that point, you know, gear was like 25 to 30 gold, and it was like tough to buy anything. So the shop itself feels a little inconsistent, but again, it's hard to say that after this run because it was actually a bit more consistent. But I can assure you the previous two that I did were not at anywhere close to this level of kind of consistently upgrading units. So just want to throw that in there. And then the other thing I want to go back to here is these upgrades. So there are a lot of different upgrades here, and as you can see, so let's take, actually I want to take a look at lifesteal. So does it say here, upgrading the stat increases the lifesteal your units can have per attack? Yeah, so see, like stuff like this I think needs to be clarified a little bit. Increases the lifesteal your units can have per attack. So is there only a chance that you lifesteal? What is that chance? Is it 1%? Is it 90%? And do you actually gain that much life at that much health? Upgrading the stat increases... Okay, so we have a bit of a circular definition here. Upgrading the stat increases the defenses of your units. Yes, I understand that. But when your defense is 1... what does that mean? Is that preventing 1 damage? Is that preventing 1% of damage? Is it just an arbitrary scale? Not really sure how that works. So some of the explanations here. Upgrading the stat increases passive regeneration of your units. Right. So if that's 1, is that healing every 1 second? Is that healing me 1 HP per second? Is that doing 1 HP per minute? Like, need some info here. Right now, there's a lot of arbitrary cooldown reduction equals 1. Is that 1 second? Because if you have a 10-second cooldown and 1 second cooldown, obviously it's going to be infinitely better for one of those, right? So there's some clarification that needs to be done here, but also just how much they cost. This is so expensive. So, for example, if HP is only giving you 1 additional HP, are you really willing to spend 30 Valor points to get 1 additional HP? Because if you recall, I think I started around 27. We got to wave 13. So that was what, 18 points? 18 points is about 2/3 of what we need for most of these when they're 25. It's not even half for cooldown reduction. These are really, really expensive. And again, considering how difficult, I think the game is actually quite difficult, and not entirely just because of the systems. I think that Wave 13 might need a bit of a nerf. But because of that, you would expect that because it is a roguelite, that you're going to be building into your upgrades, building into your meta progression, making yourself stronger, and then overcoming it with time. But you're talking a really quite significant time investment with how expensive some of these upgrades are. I think they could probably just, honestly, they could probably be halved. Literally all of them could probably just be halved and you'd be fine. But again, it's kind of like, because we don't know how exactly these numbers are working, it's hard to say. You know, if there's an arbitrary number, let's say cooldown reduction is on a scale of 1 to 5, and it's just kind of an arbitrary number, but it lines up with like 1 is 10% reduction, 2 is 20%, all the way up to 50%, and 50% is the max you can get. Well, maybe that's really good, and there's a reason it's so expensive, but because we don't know how it's not listed here how the stats are actually working. If this is like a 1% cooldown reduction, this is awful, right? But without knowing, it's hard to say for certain, but as of my initial thoughts, that's kind of what I'm thinking, is that they're just far too expensive, especially considering the fact that to reset them, it costs 40. That seems a little bit absurd as well. But as far as that goes, like the game itself, actually like buying units, upgrading them, the stat system, I think is actually quite fun. I will admit that I do, I miss having a little bit of control over my units and just letting them go for it. You can get into some tactical situations that are not positive. So for example, we had that instance where our knight just kind of charged in by himself and there was no one around with him. That's not something I can control. you know, like, again, I'm going to kind of go back to Gladiator Guild Manager because that's the auto battle I spent the most amount of time in. But if you have a character that has more charge, you can do things like, you know, put him farther back in the battlefield. So he has to take some time, walk a bit closer, then charge in. So you can kind of give him, you know, a little bit of time for his units to kind of come up with him. You can also prioritize like where he's targeting. This is literally just the AI targets where it wants to target, and if you get bad AI luck, it kind of is what it is. There's nothing you can do to control what's on the battlefield, and I completely understand that is the developers' you know, vision for the game, is that it is a 100% auto battler. My preference is just the fact that I like having a little bit more control, and that can be something as simple as just each character has an ability, like in Seer's Gambit. Seer's Gambit was just like this. Now, you did get to place your units around a little bit at the beginning, not too much, but then the combat was completely automated. The only thing you had control over was each character had an ability that you could choose when to activate, and that was a pretty cool system for me, just because it gives me a little bit of agency over what my characters are doing, and I feel like there's at least something I can do to help when they're in a sticky situation. In this case, if you're in a sticky situation, it just kind of is what it is. But again, that's just kind of what it is with auto battlers. But guys, those are my thoughts, and fingers crossed that my audio doesn't crap out this time, because I don't... Doing the same video 4 times, that's a little bit egregious. So fingers crossed you guys get to actually see this one. But guys, what'd you think of this one? You know, am I on base, or am I completely out in outer space on this one? Let me know what your guys' thoughts and opinions are down below in the comment section. Of course, if you did like the video, would you kindly smash the like button, subscribe to the channel for more roguelike action just like this. But I'm out of here for today. Thank you so much for watching. I've been Ganyonz, and I'll see y'all next time.